You like my drum solo? Welcome. We're back again. 15 minutes past when I said I would be here, but we're here. And let's be honest, most of you guys aren't watching this live anyway, so. Let me just eat my last Whopper. When they did trick-or-treating, they never took all the candy. So I think I ate half the bag that we bought for trick-or-treating before Halloween. And then Chelsea went out and bought another bag. So we had 2 bags. And there's only 30 pieces missing out of it for Halloween. So I guess I get to eat candy every night until it's gone. So I feel kind of odd doing today's meditation because there's part of me that has this idea that of a meditation teacher, right? Or somebody that leads meditation. And it's a completely foolish idea. It's nonsensical. But you picture somebody, I do at least, like in a robe maybe. Or at least somebody who isn't an asshole. Right, and for me, it's always interesting because if I ask anybody who's ever like really known me, like I've always been like this, but at certain periods in my life, you know, life kind of gets to you, and it's not easy to maintain a positive mindset, right? So for me, I'm always questioning myself, and god damn it, this focus is off. I'm always questioning myself and whether or not I'm on the right path, right? Like am I doing the right thing? And a lot of the times the reason like for the negative for like saying I'm not is like, well, you're not quite there yet. You know? Like, yeah, you know how you're supposed to be, and you're still not doing that thing. And I've been like this every single day, as long as I can remember, right? Knowing the right thing to do, but still doing the wrong thing. And it's funny because I was just listening to a podcast clip where Duncan Trussell was on Joe Rogan Experience, and he was basically talking about how there's so much karma and momentum wrapped up in your decision making that like any opportunity that you have to break free is almost a miracle, right? And so for me, it's like, you know, I've been institutionalized to have a certain pattern of behaviors, and daily is going against that practice, like you know, not reacting, right? Not being quick to respond, not making poor decisions, all that type of shit. Being negative, being violent. Because I grew up in one of those households where that actually was the fucking norm, right? And so, for me, it's one thing to say like, yeah, you know, you learned that in school, you learned not to do that, you learned the difference between right and wrong. But when you grow up in a place that actually has no morality, it's kind of hard to justify anything, right? And I think you could say like, well, actually, wouldn't that be a good way to fucking start doing this shit? And every time I think about it, I think the same thing. Like, what a great place to start, right? But I'm only fucking 28 years old, and that means I just got out of it like 10 years ago, right? And so I actually spent more time in it than I spent out of it. And it's funny because I used to kind of relate to people who would like get out of or those camps where they're like basically held hostage, but they're not hostage. They kind of like live there. Because that's how I felt all my life. Like I was a hostage in my house. And even if I wanted to run away, I would always be brought back, right? Or I'd go to jail. And so that'd be worse. So that's the fucking reality that some of us grow up in. Some of us grow up in worse realities than that. And so what I always consistently ask myself is like, how can I justify doing these things or coming on and making content that's supposed to be in a certain way to do a certain thing when every single day I'm not like that, right? I'm still that guy that did all of those things. And even though I'm working to become a better person, it doesn't mean that I'm that today, right? Just like I want to be an expert programmer, I want to be like the world's best marketer. It doesn't mean I'm those things today. And so how do you justify acting as if when you know the truth is different? And I guess like these are the things I think about, right? But the thing is like I think we all think about it. I think no matter what we're trying to do, they call it imposter syndrome, right? Anytime you're doing something, even if you've been doing it for 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, you still feel like there's a part of you that should know better, right? We talk about this in programming all the time. Like, there are no expert programmers, right? This shit is changing every single day. And if you thought you were there yet, well, good luck, because there's probably a new thing that's a new standard that you have to learn today. And I think that's just the way life is, and using anything as a reason not to do something is only going to be useful insofar as it gets you not to do anything, right? And so saying something like, well, how do I justify doing that? Well, what, like, you don't need to justify it, right? Like, it doesn't, no, who's going to question you, you know? And if that, if it just so finds that you're hanging out with somebody that does question you and what you're doing and your path, ask them about theirs, right? Because insecurity almost always raises its ugly head when it's being outshined by something, right? And so, for me, you know, I'm always pondering these hypothetical conversations that never happen. But I think that when I put voices to these thoughts, helps people relate, because I think that a lot of people feel this way, whatever it is you're doing, right? I felt like it when I started programming. I felt like it when I started marketing. I felt like it when I joined the Army. I felt like it when I got my rank in the Army, my NCO. Like, you feel like it all the time, right? And the thing is like, even the fucking high achievers feel that way. The difference is they use that as a driver to take action, right? So if you ask like a high achiever, he's like, no, I felt that thing. I totally thought that thought, and this is why I did this, right? And so that's what it's about. It's not about like having the fucking plan completely worked out and making sure that all of your T's and I's are dotted and crossed, and I said that backwards, and that like you can explain yourself to anyone. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as you know your intention is good and like you really fucking care about what you're doing, what else is there? Right? And if it just so happens that what you're doing has a positive effect on other people, here's where it gets really interesting. Because then, how do you justify not doing it? Yeah. And so what you're doing is supposed to be having an effect on positive people. And you don't necessarily need to negatively justify your actions. Like, you don't have to say, what gives me cause to do this? Why don't you say, well, what gives me cause not to do this? Like, who's giving me the authority to understand that I could do something valuable in this world? And who's giving me the authority not to do it? Like, isn't that kind of what I'm supposed to be doing? Right? So you can look at it either way. And this is the glass half empty, half full thing. Like, for me, I always submit to a higher authority, right? But not always. Definitely not always. But when I'm making big decisions, a lot of times I don't even leave it up to myself. I'll go to sleep on it and wake up in the morning. Anyways, my point is, uh, I was an asshole today, and I still wanted to come in and do this meditation, but I wanted to let you guys know that, like, yo, we're all going through this shit. Like, we're all fucking dealing with it. We're all doing our best, and like, your story might be fucking more crazy than mine, but it doesn't mean that you can justify not being a good person or not trying to be a good person, right? Not taking action to leave a good fucking imprint in the world, right? You can't just let all that negative shit that you do sit out there and fester, right? You gotta fucking squash the negativity at its source, because it always comes back to you. It always comes back to you. And the best way to keep shit from coming back to you is to first not send it out in the first place, but after you send it out, make right for it, and then continue fucking doing other things that are on the good side of life, right? Anyways, this message is only going to appeal to a certain type of person, but hopefully that's the only type of person that's watching this. Okay, so let's meditate. I'm going to take my glasses off. Before we start, let's ask for a blessing. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the holy angels, saints, sages, spirits, especially to our teacher, Jehoshua, the one we call Jesus, we humbly ask for your divine blessing, and we ask that you may light the path that we're about to embark on, and make sure that we don't sway. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay. You ready? All right, go ahead and take a deep breath. Swirl it. Let it out. Hold it. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Swirl it. Let it out. Hold it. Deep breath. Hold it. Push. Stretch your lungs out. Let it out. Hold it. Last one. Deep breath. Hold it. Stretch your lungs. Let it out. Hold it. Okay. From here, we're going to put your hands on your lap, if they aren't already. Start following the air through our nose. You don't really want to breathe in. You want to be breathed into. Notice the air as it passes through your nose. Maybe it's cool. Feel the air pressure. From here, we're gonna open up our eyes. Go ahead and circle your left hand behind you. Try and see where your finger is. Circle your right hand behind you and try and see where your finger is. Circle both of them behind you. Keep your eyes that wide. And you don't want to look at anything in particular. You just want to keep your eyes nice and open. Go ahead and relax them. Relax them. Keep following the air through your nose. From here, you're going to open up your ears. Try and hear all the sound. Don't want to cancel anything out. Just let it all in. Keep following the air through your nose. Relax your eyes. Open your ears. What do you hear? From here, we're going to go to our mouth. Feel your tongue, your saliva. Is your mouth wet or dry? Keep your ears open. Follow the air through your nose. Relax your eyes. From here, we're going to move to our body. Try and feel our toes and our butt at the same time. Try and feel the top of our head and our butt at the same time. And we're going to try and feel our whole body at once as we follow the air through our nose. And we relax our eyes. We open our ears. Taste our mouth. Let your body relax. Just let go. Relax your eyes. From here, you're going to imagine there's a violet balloon light inside your heart, and it's actually connected to your lungs, and every time you take a breath it blows up a little bit. It's okay if you yawn, you're just clearing energy. At this point, the violet light is surrounding you. As you breathe in, it expands to the size of your room. As you breathe in, it expands to the size of your building. As you breathe in, it expands to the size of your neighborhood. As you breathe in, it expands to the size of your town or city. Relax your eyes. At this point, it's the size of your state or city, or state or territory. As you breathe in, it expands to the size of your country. At this point, it's all the way around the world. And from here, what we're going to do is tap the top of our head, tap right here, tap right here. Going to push in on our palms, right here, just like that. And from here, what I want you to do is just test your energy level, see if we can't pump it up a little bit. So go ahead, put a roll back, and rub your hands together. See if you can see me. And go ahead and concentrate on your palms. Now from here, what I want you to do is just press your hands together until you feel something. You should feel something at some point. Go ahead and point your hands like this. Just be receptive, okay? Okay, you should have something now. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is take our hands and go like this. Start at the top of your head. Keep your fingers like this. And we're not touching our head, okay? We're just going to act like we're in the shower. Keep going. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Pretend your hands are either white or violet. I like to use violet. You can use green too if you want. Violet is kind of just nice and soothing. And there's a bunch of different things that you can make sure you do with this, and basically it just makes it work better, but this always works. Okay. So normally we would go all the way down. You can go down to your legs if you want. And then what you want to do is act like you just rolled a bunch of cotton candy off your body. You want to hold it. Should have it like wrapped up in a ball right here. Okay. What we're gonna do is basically throw it away in a cosmic fire. All right. So we're gonna light a fire right here. There's a fire right next to you, and just go ahead and throw it in. Throw it all in. Okay. And maybe you want to just start pulling it off you and throw it in the fire. Get it all off. There might be some cords, some strings, other people's energy. Just get it all off. And from here, what you're going to do is pretend you have a bucket of water and just dump it out. Okay, so now that we're cleansed, what we're going to do is send a blessing to the earth. So go ahead. Put your hands out. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Stretch your lungs. Let it out. Go ahead and sit back and relax. Keep your hands out. Tap the top of your head again. And from here, what we're going to do is pretend like we are in the sun looking at the earth. We see the violet balloon we just put around the earth of love. Violet sheath, cloak of love. It's all the way around the earth. So the earth has a little bit of a violet tint to it. And from here, we're going to be in the sun. Tap the top of our heads. And you want to just kind of sit back and relax. Keep your hands out. From here, what we're going to do is slowly pay attention to our crown, which is the top of our head. And we're going to notice a thin silver cord kind of hooked to the top. And almost like, you know those like bumper cars at the arcade? Those little metal things that hook to the roof? That's kind of like what this is. So this cord kind of keeps you connected, right? And if you notice this cord, you'll kind of see that it's like really strong, even though it's kind of thin. Almost like it has its own will and its own knowledge of where you're supposed to be. So what we're going to do is kind of just follow this cord to the top of our head. from the top of our head and see where it's connected to. As we're doing this, we're still in the sun. And it looks like there might be a wall or something this is plugged into. A universal power source, maybe. Who knows? Maybe it's at the center of the sun. I couldn't tell you. I'm not exactly sure. But as we follow this cord back, we notice that the light around us becomes more and more violet. And it's almost like the light that we're sending out is merging with the violet light, and it's kind of bringing us there. So from here, what we're going to do is recognize that this new violet light that we're approaching is connected to this silver cord. And actually, when you try to find where it's connected to, you kind of lose it. It disappears into the violet light. So what we're going to do is just let our violet light merge with this violet light. And as we do, we're going to notice our energy level increase. Maybe our hands are becoming warm. You might even see something between your hands. Don't try and look for something, but if you see it, just know it's not crazy. So what we're doing is we're basically getting a universal power up. So as you pass through this light, I want you to just close your eyes and just soak it in. This light is more loving than any love you've known. More welcoming than any place you've ever been before. It's almost like you remember this place. Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe it's just some familiar vibrations that you're aware of. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a place, maybe it's a thing. Something about this place is more familiar than familiar is to you. It's like this is real. Like you don't know where you just were, because this actually is more real than you just were. You know, as you're sitting in this light, you're noticing that your body, I don't know, is it even there anymore? Do you feel it? It's kind of lighter, at least. Maybe your chakras are being cleansed as well. All that negative energy and the noise that you picked up throughout the week, throughout the year, just seems to be radiating away into this universal power source. And as it goes away, you're grateful, but you're almost kind of sad, because now you don't really know how to feel. But just as that fleeting thought flickers away, you realize that this is how you always feel. This is the real you. So from here, what we're going to do is just sit back and enjoy some time with ourselves. repeat after me. I am word through my body. Word, I am word. I am word through my vibration. Word, I am word. I am word through my knowing of myself as word. Word, I am word. Our hearts are one. Our souls are one. Our life is one. We are one. I am that I am. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not even the thoughts. I am that I am. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free. I am free. I am free. I know who you are in truth. I know what you are in truth. I know how you serve in truth. You are free, you are free, you are free. I am word through each one present. Word, I am word. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om. There is no separation. Let go. May the Universal Father, Mother, and you shine their light, their love, their blessings, their peace, their serenity, their hope for you, on you. May you receive these gifts in gratitude and humility and pass them forward as they were given to you. From here, we're going to open our eyes or keep them closed. It's up to you. Put your hands out. Turn around because you're probably facing the wrong way. Look back at the earth. And from here, we're just going to send blessings down on earth. Just use your intention. Feel free to chant Om with me. We're going to chant Om 3 times to open up the portal. Then we'll chant Om 3 more times to close it. Dear Father, we ask you to flow through us as we continue to send the earth our blessings. We ask you to power up our chakras and allow us to send infinite blessings to the earth, because what else is there to do? Let us come into the mind of every person, every being, and into the hearts as well. Father, Mother, allow your will to be recognized as the will of the individual as well as the collective. Allow us to recognize that there is no separation, and as your will, so it be done on earth as it is in heaven. And we thank you and the earth for all these continued blessings you give us, sustaining our life, giving us livelihood, place to live, place to learn. And we, in our humility and our gratitude, send back blessings to the earth as a reciprocal process. And as we continue to bless the earth, the minds of every person is being opened up. The chakras of every person are being cleansed. The energy fields are being released. And the overall energy is raising. As the collective vibration loosens up, the tension rises out of your body. Air around you feels lighter. Maybe you're lighter. From here, just going to put our hands on our heart and try and connect with the heart chakra of every person in the world right now. And as we're in this space, we want to continue to send a loving blessing and let them know that they are not alone. We are here with them to act as their protectors and their guides, and we will always be here to light the way. Okay, from here we're going to put our hands down. Send anything else that we have out back down to Mother Earth. Oh, wait. chant Om 3 times. Put your hands back out. Om. 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 Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Point your hands down. Now send it out. Keep sending it, keep sending it, keep sending it. You're slowly coming back into your body. Let it fall out through your hands. Imagine there's a violet light just soaking up everything that you're sending out, coming out of your feet and your hands. And let it fall out of your back too. Don't try to hold on to anything. Alright. Go ahead. Slap your hands together. Follow me, okay? Just say cut. Cut. Last one. Cut. And then cut, 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 cut. And just take all that stuff that you just cut. Open up the cosmic fire pit. Throw it in. Douse the flame. There you go. So, that was good for me, so it had to have been good for you. If you're wondering what we did, basically, we did the warrior's meditation first. Well, we did vagal breathing to start. That's the deep breaths. Then we did the warrior's meditation, which is opening up the 5 senses, hypersensitizing them. From there, we went to, I don't know, the cosmic rebirth, and basically entered the other side, pierced the veil, and from there we got a universal power up, right? Cleansed ourselves. Oh, before that, what we did was we cleaned our bodies, our energy bodies, so that we could easily transition, so there wouldn't be any resistance. So we took all that, left it on the other side, put it in the cosmic fire pit, burned it up, and that made it so that we could just pierce that veil really easily, fall into it, get charged up, and then we sent the blessing to the earth, right? So any one of those things you can do individually. If you don't have 45 minutes for a meditation, you can do those individually, and it'll work, right? It gets you there, but the real, like digital marketing, the real power is in stacking these things together. And so I like to do it on Sundays. Is just like, what else are you gonna do on a Sunday night? You know what I mean? So hopefully this clears your energy for the week, resets you, and then I'll be back tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. All right, thank you. See you then. Bye.